Hey friends. So if you saw the title, you know, today we're talking about discipline and correction. Truth be told, it's not my favorite topic. It's not. I struggle with discipline and correction. Now I can give discipline and correction to my children, but I honestly struggle to even be the giver of it to other people other than my children. But I don't take it well. So, of course, in true God fashion, that's what he has me working on this year, is discipline and correction. And I was upset about it. And I had some harsh prayers with God telling him that I didn't want to work on that and that I didn't think I should have to do that and that it makes me feel bad and I don't like it. And why would he want me to feel bad? Okay, so obviously I was a 2-year-old. It's okay. I think we talked in my last video about us being toddlers. So there's my toddler example. So he's got me working on it. And I will tell you, I am getting better. But here's how I used to handle, and I'm going to say used to because we're just going to speak the truth that I'm not going to do it anymore. Here's how I used to handle discipline and correction. Just 2 ways. I only handled it one of 2 ways. One, I would become defensive and feel like I needed to defend myself. I believed that that person didn't know me and didn't see me and didn't understand me. So I had to explain myself and try to get them to understand me and see me. And then hopefully they would understand I didn't need that discipline and correction. And I took it as a negative that they were saying bad. And it was like a whirlwind of disaster. So clearly that one didn't work. Second way was to take that discipline or correction and internalize it and use it as a weapon against myself to beat myself up. And I always put the negative spin on it. I hate to use the word always because always and never aren't great, but seriously, I really think I always did it. Put the negative spin on it, use it to beat myself up, take it as my truth, and not just what they said is my truth, but the negative spin I put on what they said as my truth. Beat myself up, live in that, feel like a failure, totally defeated for however long I felt I deserved that level of punishment. So clearly that's why God has me working on it this year, because I didn't know what to do with it. So how many of y'all know when God wants you to work on something, he continually puts you in situations to practice it? That's why people say don't pray for patience, because God puts you in situations where you have to practice patience. So discipline and correction, God keeps putting me in positions where I have to receive discipline and correction in some way. I'm gonna be honest, I'm on the struggle bus with it. It is hard for me, but I'm getting better. So I will say it still hurts. It still hurts my feelings, still hurts my heart. But what I'm teaching myself to do and training my brain to do is, even in the hurt, to take that information and measure it against myself. I never did this before. Measure it against who I am, who God says I am, who God has created me to be, what he's called me to do, and his word. And then say, does it have any validity there? Is it accurate? Is this person speaking something into me that I do in fact need to work on? Is there just a piece of it? Because even someone who is speaking discipline and correction into you with like not good intent, right? They're trying to hurt you. Even in that, God can use that because God doesn't waste anything. So even in the discipline and correction from someone that is trying to hurt you or that is not coming from a biblical stance, there can even be something in there that I can take away to use to better myself, not beat up myself. So that's what I've been trying to do. But in January, when I first started working on the discipline and correction, I was reading a chapter of Proverbs every day. I was following Kayla Hunt, who I believe she founded She Abides. I don't know if y'all follow her. I follow her on TikTok. So she is amazing. And so I followed along with her as we did Proverbs. So there's a lot of discipline and correction verses in Proverbs. As a matter of fact, it starts right off in chapter 1, verse 5. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. Discernment. There's another struggle for me right there in the first verse. So when I went through Proverbs, I journaled every day and I would pick out the verses that spoke to me. So we got to day 15, which means I got to chapter 15 in Proverbs before I touched on the discipline and correction. I want to read to you what I said. There have been several verses in Proverbs that have spoken to discipline and correction. I honestly think I have intentionally not focused on those because I struggle being corrected. For some reason, correction tends to make me feel bad about me, and it's not supposed to. Correction and discipline is supposed to be iron sharpening iron. It's supposed to get those rough edges off to make me more Christ-like. Those are the people that I want to be around, the wise and the people who can sharpen me, right? So verse 12 says, oh, this one stings. Mockers resent correction, so they avoid the wise. I don't want to be a mocker. I don't want to avoid the wise. I want to be in the presence of the wise. I want to gain from the wise. I want them to be able to pour into me and to refine me and help me be more like Jesus. My husband is preaching on friends for the month of March, and he's talking about true biblical friends, and we're supposed to be able to do that. We're supposed to be able to speak into each other's lives to make each other better, right? Not to beat each other down. That's not the intent. But that's what I was doing with it. I was taking it and beating myself down. They weren't beating me down. I was beating me down. Okay. So verse 5 tells me, if I take and listen to the correction, I'm showing prudence. Another one of the things that God keeps popping up in my quiet time. Prudence and discernment. It's all over the place. Okay, so verse 31 and 32 say, whoever heeds life-giving correction will be at home among the wise. Those who disregard discipline despise themselves, but the one who heeds correction gains understanding. I should long for correction. I should seek it out. I should want to have the friends that speak that into my life. I should want to be the friend that can speak that into other people's lives and pray, Lord, help my words be gentle. Help my words point people to you. Lord, let the words of others be gentle on my soul and point me to you. Let me encourage you to go out and seek those wise people who can speak correction and discipline into your life, and to pray for God to refine you to be one of those wise people. I hope you go out today and make it a blessed day.